Hey folks, it is the end of day 5, and we had a pretty productive day actually. As predicted, Shaper got slapped pretty hard. Unfortunately, we did take our first death today against ye old Minotaur. I wasn't really expecting that. Right at the start of the fight, he had like 1 damage mod or something, like 100 is fire. And, you know, if that was Minotaur, right at the start of the fight, he burrows. And normally I flame dash through him. I did that this time and just immediately died. For some reason I didn't think that his burrow dealt damage in the path. And apparently it does. Because I was dead well before he actually came up out of the ground. So, lesson learned there. I don't know how I've never noticed that before, but so be it. It wasn't too painful anyway. It was like a 94 death, so we still hit 95. Tree is pretty much exactly how I figured it would be at 95. I haven't made any changes there. I haven't really made any other gear changes except after the stream finished, I went out and finally picked up my multi-mod weapon. This time I did it on a profane wand. It seems like profane wands have... I thought they were going to have slightly worse chances to roll the +1 to all cold spells because they also can roll +1 to all chaos, which I actually happened to get a couple other on the way to crafting this. I got a couple other lucky crafts, 1 fire and 1 chaos, and I thought having this chaos spells in the pool for them would make it worse, but after looking at it in crafting sim, they still have a better chance. For some reason, I guess scepters had their chance reduced to account for the fact that they can't roll chaos or something. But the odds are definitely worse. Not by a ton, but enough that it makes it worth rolling. As long as you're just looking for all cold spells. If you were trying to make like an actual best in slot weapon, you would need a Shaper, and I feel like I might still do that on a scepter. But you could still use a profane wand. It wouldn't really matter that much. For me, the profane wand implicit was slightly higher DPS. And as you can see, I didn't even go for the spell damage that has 4% chaos is cold, non-chaos is chaos, excuse me, because I don't even have it unlocked yet. I don't even have the first rank of it. And for us, they're nearly identical. Like way at the high end of things, you'll get like maybe 0.5% total more DPS out of the non-chaos as chaos. But for me, it was literally like a few hundred DPS difference or something. And I got a perfect roll on the spell damage, so it kind of makes up for what tiny margin I might have lost anyway, I think. Yeah, we also... a few good drops happened today. I got like a Alluring Bounty card, which is the 10 Exalt card. That was a pretty decent chunk of change. And when I was farming the recipe for the multi-mod, the Pale Council, I got the Grip of the Council gloves, which were a little over an Exalt. I just let him go for an Exalt to somebody who was a lower level. So we still have a little bit of cash left. I think at this point, somebody is price fixing the Freezing Pulse enchants, I think, by the way. So right now they are absurdly expensive, like 5 Exalts minimum. So I don't know how soon it's going to be that I might actually wind up fossil crafting this sort of crappy Lunar Circlet, just because there's no way I'm paying 5 Exalts for projectile speed when we get plenty, especially, you know, we get more this league because we can allocate flash freeze. So I just don't think it's worth paying a crazy price. If you haven't gotten it by now, I'm not sure what to tell you, like, until the market stabilizes on that or something. But yeah, it's gonna be hard to get a projectile speed enchant now. Let's dip into a map. I kind of enjoy doing a map. I don't have any missions. We'll just throw Abyss on it. I'm definitely at the point where, like, we have Uber Elder ready, and I might just do this tomorrow. We'll have to see how I feel about it. I don't quite have enough maps to, you know, do 2 rounds of T16 Guardians. So I might wind up getting them tomorrow just for mapping. Got a nice little 7 portal here. Looks like a very slow start there. I still like putting one of these buff towers up first while I'm waiting for the... At least on the blights for the maps. At this point our damage is enough that we kind of don't need much in the way of towers unless you get a really hard layout. Like, I had one that was in a tier 15 that was 8 portals and 2 boss portals. And those can be really gnarly. We don't have any lightning portals, so maybe we'll throw up a lightning portal on top of this guy. Actually, let's put slow on both ends. Not sure it's even going to matter here. With all the projectile speed we hit so far, I kind of enjoy watching the red dots get deleted on the minimap more than I like watching them actually get hit up close. I have a feeling I'm going to take this character pretty far in terms of gear progression again. I don't know if I'll do level 100 again. That sounds a little bit tough to swallow doing that 2 leagues in a row. But I feel like Freezing Pulse is just going to be so good at farming blighted maps that it feels like it's going to be worth trying to slip into an Atziri's Reflection setup and doing some hardcore blighted map farming. Yeah, we're on day 5. The Atlas is pretty much done. I have like 10 unique maps left to finish off. Otherwise, we completed the regular Atlas. The other thing I really want to do this league, and the other thing that's going to keep me playing this character for a while, is that I really want to find all. I've put quite a lot of time into this game, and I've literally never come across him. And he's on a challenge this time, so if I did want to get 40 out of 40 at least, I'm going to need to find him. So this feels like a pretty good opportunity to delve a little bit further than I normally do. And check that off the old bucket list. One other thing we did get done today was we cleared out Mastermind for the first time, which was pretty easy, even before I had the multi-mod weapons and stuff. 83 version of that fight's really not that hard anymore. And it's really worth doing if you haven't done it in a while, because now you get a reward room for every single person on the board, not just the leaders. I didn't get anything crazy good out of it this time, but it felt worth doing for sure. Especially once you have like a stronger board setup, you're going to be able to rake in plenty while still having a chance to get a flask mod, since those only take 1 unveils now. Like I figured, about the time you wind up being able to get to Shaper and kill him, you're kind of at the point where red map farming has gotten pretty trivial. We're still not even really close to, you know, our peak, right? I think the POB that I had that included a multi-mod weapon, we were over 500,000 Shaper DPS per totem, and I think right now I'm closer to like 370, 375 per totem. We can get a bump from... Oh yeah, that was one of the other things that I didn't wind up... I finally was able to corrupt all 6 of the gems that I had been leveling in my offhand set, and all 6 of them did absolutely nothing. They all just stayed 2020, which hasn't happened in a long time. So we didn't get our 8% damage increase there. So that'll be a nice bump. Maybe tomorrow. I don't think I'll be able to finish an entire round. I've got to cycle these once. Yeah. So probably not until like Thursday. And the price of a 2120, there's not even any on the trade site right now, but a 2120 is going to be expensive right now. We'll also get a slight bump once we can get better gloves. But yeah, I'm not sure how much longer I'll continue this progress journal because we're kind of at the point where like there's only a few things left in terms of actual content progression, and then it'll just be like gear refinement and things. I'll probably still do, you know, a few videos at key checkpoints in terms of progression, just kind of show like how long it takes to hit those breakpoints. But at this point, most of the content in the game is going to be pretty trivial. Like this gear set will kill Uber Elder no problem, I think. We've got the life and the damage to do that pretty handily. It won't be as fast of a fight as it was in Legion for me since it was my second character, but it'll still be plenty easy as long as, you know, you don't get hit by like a slam, which no level of gear for this build is really going to fix. We did get a white socket from that mastermind treasure room, and it landed, it was like 50-50, right? Whether it was going to land on the blue or green, and it did land on the green, which is good because that means I can pull added cold for Empower 4 down the road, which is a DPS upgrade overrunning added cold, but it's an expensive one. Empower 4, especially right now, early in the league, first week or two, it's probably over 5 exalts or something. But assuming that I can get a 2120 freezing pulse out of this set, which maybe I shouldn't assume that anymore, but assuming I do, the next thing would probably be dropping Power 4 over added cold. But yeah, that's sort of where we're at. Uber Elder is next on the list, and then saving up more currency to... I don't know if I'll empower 4 before or after Atziri's Reflection. It'll kind of depend on like how lucky I am with drops and currency. I still have only had one raw exalt the whole league. All of my other currency has come from item drops, like div cards in particular. I had a Rigwald's Quiver div card drop, the Alluring Bounty, the Atziri's Reflection. I've made a decent amount of currency, just not in actual like currency drops, which is pretty odd for me. Usually it's the other way around. I picked up like 25 exalts off the ground in Legion in total. But yeah, I don't know if I'll do this daily anymore. I'll probably do an update when I do get Uber Elder, which might actually be tomorrow. And then I'll probably do one if I find all, or see how long it takes me to get the Atziri's Reflection and Cowards Legacy set up. But yeah, this was as smooth as as I could ask for, pretty much. It was the very first day or so, I think, is probably not as favorable as Holy Flame Totem, but it's really just such a small margin that I would prefer starting Freezing Pulse Totems, provided you're in a trade league. And especially for this league mechanic, blighted maps in particular, Freezing Pulse is just awesome. You get tons of range, you have no target limit on piercing. I don't know if there's going to be a league mechanic as ideal for Freezing Pulse Totems in a long time. As usual, thanks to everybody who's been stopping by the stream. There's still a bunch of people coming by, and I'm still enjoying that. I plan to be streaming Path of Exile for quite a while. I don't think I'm going to jump over to Borderlands 3. At least not for some time. I'm really enjoying this league, and I still really haven't even scratched the surface of blighted maps, which is something I really want to do this week. So, thanks for watching. As always, if you got any questions about the build, you can leave them in the comments or the forum thread, or feel free. Yeah, you can tell that it's almost 3 a.m. Feel free to stop by the Twitch chat whenever I'm online. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Peace.